Hey guys, Lord here, back with another action figure review. Today we'll be taking a look at quite possibly the top 13 action figures of 2025. I know I haven't done the 2024 video yet, but you know what? This is my channel and y'all should have known that was going to happen. Either way, today we're going to be taking a look at the Masterverse new Eternia Ninjor, or Ninja Assassin if you have the classics figure. Not sure how they lost the rights to Ninjor. I mean, there's only one Ninjor that I know of, and it's this guy right here. So, with that being said, this is of course brought to us by the fine folks over at Mattel. Before we get too far ahead of ourselves, why don't we cut right to the chase and get into the meat and taters of this review and take a look-see at all the Ninja Assassin Ninjor has to offer in terms of accessories, starting off with a couple of different masks. He's got this cool Oni mask, which is obviously the one I'm going to use. And then he's got the crazy ghoul-looking Fu Manchu guy mask. Now, I'm pretty sure this is just a human face. It's not like a monster or nothing, but its nose is very flat. So for a second, I thought it was a skeleton. But just to show you what that looks like quick. Over his Ninjor face. There you go. I assume it's supposed to be like his unmasked look. And then of course we got the Oni mask, which in my opinion looks way better. There you go. Demonic horns and all. It said standing him back there. We also have his weapons. Got the bow and arrow, which actually does like store on the back. You kind of gotta fidget with it to get it to work, but it does work. It takes a minute to line up though. There you go. That's how it works. It's a little weird. I don't know why they didn't just make it slide into the sword scabbard there, but it is what it is. Me personally, I was never big on Ninjor's bow, but if he's going to be holding anything, it's probably going to be the sword. So I will attempt to have this store on his back, not fall off constantly. That said, speaking of the sword, I had it right here. There it is. Get it right there. It could be Jitsu sword. That would make sense. This, of course, can store in here. Goes in a certain way. There you go. Now you can store his sword on his back. Truth be told, probably easier to store the sword on his back and just have him holding the bow, but I like the sword more. And last but not least, we got his nunchucks. He's got a pair of them suckers that you can lift this arm up and put these in this little scabbard on his hip here, which is, I do believe, from Jitsu. But they retooled it to have 2 slots instead of just 1. So that's cool. That said, other than that, I think the skirt might be from Jitsu. But everything else is just standard kind of Masterverse buck. With some extra bits. Like the Ninjor armor is new. I like that they gave him some spiky pauldrons. That's cool. That's fun. I like that. He's got his crazy Ninjor feet. Crazy Ninjor arms. And he's got pointed, like, fingers. These could be new hands, and that's why he doesn't have the right hinge to hold stuff. But this Oni mask on this figure, he just looks like an evil demon assassin now. Said you could take the mask off and see his regular Ninjor head, which is fine. It looks like he's wearing a hood, but the lip goes so far out, it looks a little funky. Almost like that first Revelation Skeletor. He had the really long lip on the hood, and it just made it look kind of weird. So I'm going to leave this Oni mask on, because it fills that out. Might make his head look a little big, but it fills that out, and it just looks better with this on. Like, come on, you're not gonna display yours with this? You're gonna display yours with the frumpy Fu Manchu head? What's wrong with you? That said, as far as articulation goes, said we'll look side to side, we'll look up and down. Actually, quite well. Does he have a hinge? No. I mean, he does, but it's not like that kind of hinge, like on the Horde Trooper Deluxe or whatever. Shoulders will go out to the side, back down. They will rotate forward and back. He's got a bicep swivel, double elbow, that works fine. He's got a swivel hinge at the wrist. Now, his torso does have like the diaphragm joint, but all this gear gets in the way, so you're not going to get to utilize that for the most part. He does have a waist twist though, so you can at least do that. Said if you pop the armor apart on the back, you can kind of adjust his torso and then pop the armor back together. So if you want to articulate him there, that's your best bet. Hips will kick out to the side, back down. They'll kick forward and back, no problem. He does have the drop downs, but he doesn't really need them. But they are there. Both of them work on mine, I checked. He's got a thigh cut, double jointed knee, swivel at the boot with a hinge at the foot, and a rocker joint with his crazy dragon feet. Speaking of dragons, I did see someone take the Turtles of Grayskull one and throw the pieces on here. It looked pretty sweet, but I don't have two of those to do that. So I'm going to keep him with his crazy demon mask. Probably have him holding his sword. He'll go on my shelf like that. That'll be quite awesome indeed. So, with that being said, it's time now that we move right along and take a look at some size comparisons. First up, here is good old Ninjor, alongside the other characters available in this current wave of Masterverse figures. Not sure where the accent came from, but nevertheless, we have Skeletor, the Lord of Destruction, rocking the Terror Claws. Not looking like some Fruity Loops BS either. And then we also have She-Ra, the Princess of Power, as it were, but this figure just falls short for me for some reason. I don't know what it is, but like I said earlier, in the Terror Claws Skeletor review, we'll discuss that further when we get to her. So getting these two out of here. Bringing our two regulars, the Mythic Legion's Brother Manibelith, right there. And the infamous Living Spawn, who is a little taller than Ninjor here. Not by much, though. That said, to his credit, Ninjor could, and probably will be, a card-carrying member of the Men in Red and Black Club. What say you? I say yes. So, with that being said, it's time now that we wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and despite how awesome Terror Claws Skeletor was, or even Beastman from the last wave of Masterverse figures we looked at on the channel, good old Ninjor here, at the moment, unless Scareglow comes along, is probably going to be the Masterverse figure of the year for me personally, because Ninjor is one of my absolute favorite Evil Warriors and Masters of the Universe characters in general. I think my stupid little Origins skits with Ninjor made him a prominent member of the Overlord Productions family. So I do have a little bit of bias towards the character, but at the end of the day, a good figure is a good figure, and this is a damn good figure. So that makes him even better, if you ask me. So with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this review. Until next time, we'll catch you guys later.